Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video. Today we've got some spoilers for Series 9, or I guess our first official spoiler set of it, even though we've kind of know a couple cards already. But yeah, we're starting off with the Red Frieza archetype, which is pretty cool and kind of like a successor to both the Clash of Fates and what is the Series 7? Series 6, dang, we've been really just cranking through these series, huh? But yeah, both of these are kind of I don't know, specific to an archetype. This is kind of like the Frieza army, and this is the like the prison Frieza kind of thing. Which I think both these are good, but and both these archetypes are good, and also can be run with this leader. So a lot of being able to move cards around and be really creative with not only the leader cards but the battle cards that come with them, just because there's a lot of synergy with all that. But yeah, let's just get started with the leader. So Frieza, Red Frieza Army, Frieza Clan. Activate once per turn. Look at the top 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to one Frieza Clan card among them, add them to your hand, then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And then say draw one and tap one at life 4 or less. So pretty standard on the Awakening side. Nothing too flashy. It pretty much means that you have to run some Frieza, Frieza Clan, and it's only top 3, which kind of sucks. I think top 5 wouldn't be broken. Top 3 in general, you can just whiff for even if you stack your deck with not stack your deck, but if you just have a bunch of cards in your deck that are Frieza Clan, it's still pretty easy to miss on top 3. So I wish it was top 5, but and also it's Frieza Clan, not to confuse with Frieza Army. So that just pretty much means Frieza, Cooler, King Cold, etc. Which isn't like I think Frieza Clan is probably a slightly higher card pool, especially since most Friezas are Frieza Army and Clan at the same time. But so it's nothing too terrible. But so there's that. And then on the Awaken side, so when this card attacks, draw one. Great, pretty standard there. And also active battle for 1 red. Choose up to 1 Frieza Clan in your battle area. It gets plus and it's critical for duration of the turn. So that's I don't know. This seems a bit weak to me as well. Just the fact that it doesn't get like a power boost. Since it's active battle, you want something that can get a boost on both sides. So I think if it's like, especially since you got spend 1 red. I think giving like plus 5k in critical would have been better, because this does nothing on your opponent's turn, right? Like it does nothing on the other turn. It only does stuff on your turn. So there's not like the flexibility that active battle usually gets. So, but it's all right. It's not crazy, and it kind of sucks that you have to put the red energy. But luckily, it's not. You do an active main. If this was like active, or sorry, this is active battle. If this was active main, spend 1 red to do it, it'd just be terrible, honestly. So. I guess that's all right, but I wish there was a power boost as well, since you're paying 1 red energy. All right, 1 drop, super rare. So when you play this card, draw 1, nice, and then also active battle for 1 red. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's lead cards or battle cards, gets minus 10k power of duration of the battle. See, that's way better, being able to just minus 10k either turn for 1 red energy on active battle. That does just a lot. Sure, this is a tiny unprotected body itself, but you just play it and you draw 1. So cool card, and pretty standard for the archetype. Just mean being able to spend 2 energy to draw 1 and give something minus 10k active battle, I think is good. Next up, we've got this 5-drop full power Frieza, 100% overdrive. So this guy's got a lot to impact. So it's a blue red card. It's triple strike, energy exhaust, and also auto. When this card attacks. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and then get minus 30k power for duration of the turn. So this pretty much clears the board when it swings, which is really nice. And when the power of one of your opponent's battle cards is decreased, your opponent places 2 cards from the top of their deck into their drop area. So this does like their entire. So when the power of one of your opponent's battle cards is decreased, so if you have a field of 10 cards, you have to ditch 10 cards from your from the top of your deck, which is pretty powerful. And I don't know if there's I remember seeing like some of the extra cards had some like mill potential. You obviously can't run this in Janemba because it's a 5-drop, but yeah, I think this is a pretty good card, and in just a lot of ways it pressures your opponent, and when it swings it does a lot. Also, it's a 5-drop Frieza, which means you can a 5-drop red Frieza, so it works really well with the swap engine because you can use Frieza Storm of Blows. So for just 2 red energy, you swap into this 5-drop. And the best thing is that this isn't restricted to the red Frieza leader either. You can just have this Frieza Storm of Blows and go into it from there. So a lot of good synergy there. Even when you play this card, you might not even want to give something minus 20k, or blow up something with 20k or less, because you want to be able to swing with this Frieza instead and make them drop 2 more cards in their deck. But Really powerful card. I think probably a little bit overstated for 5, especially since you can cheat it out for 2 if you have setup with the Frieza Storm of Blows. So yeah, we'll see how that really shakes out. Next up, we've got Mecha Frieza Energy Blight. This is the check land, so it's the red-blue one. So we're finally getting one for every dual color combination, which is nice. And when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards gets minus 5k power for duration of the battle. So nothing too good. It's one of the weaker ones, to be honest, but it's okay. Being able to maybe destroy something or just make this a 20k for 2 isn't too bad when swinging. So there's that. This card's going to be used a lot, obviously, just because it's a red-blue check land, but nothing too flashy after that. All right, Tyranny's Cost, Energy Exhaust. So active main, draw 2 cards. If your opponent has 11 or more cards in their hand, they choose cards in their hand, shuffle them into their deck until they have 10 or less in their hand. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, it's red-blue multicolor, so you can, I believe you can use the what is it? The Invoke. I believe you can do that on your opponent's turn, or on your own turn, so you can pay this for only 1. The second half of this effect doesn't seem super good, especially since if you're trying to mill them out with the 5-drop or other cards with it, you don't want to put cards back in their deck. It'd be way better if they got dropped or warped, but there's that. I don't know. I mean, 2 energy, draw 2 is fine. 1 energy, draw 2 is really good. We'll just see from there. Do we have any of the Invoke cards? Let me see real quick, just to make sure. Okay, here's what Invoker does. So when paying the energy cost for a red-blue multicolor extra card, you can switch 1 red-blue multicolor card to rest mode instead. So you can play this for 1 energy, and then you have a 1 energy draw 2. So that's better than 2 energy, but there we go. All right, next up, so I'm going to go back here. Next up, all right, so we've got this 2-drop Clan Commander Frieza. So when you play this card, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 red or blue Frieza clan among them, add them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this is good. It's a strict, +1. If you're you just are able to cycle cards from your hand. It's a 2-drop with 15k. You can also swap into this with the 1-drop Frieza Overture Battle, because you just need a red Frieza card with energy cost of 2. So that's a really easy one to go into. And yeah, nothing too flashy, but just a good swap target if you. This is good for, what is it, the other 2-drop that this deck has, the evolutionary. This gets what, minus 5k during your opponent's turn. So if you want to go more great aggro swap, this card is pretty good. It's kind of like a really specific version of the Scrambling Assault, and it's a 5k, which is great, but also it's not every time it swings. So it's a 15k, sorry. So it has the 5k more of the Scrambling Assault, but you get much limited options on choosing cards. All right, next up we've got Frieza No Introductions. So this is a counterattack, and then also permanent during your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. So it's kind of like a topo, but you don't have to drop a card in the sense that it's just a 2-drop red negate. And then also for active main, for 2 red and 1 blue, choose 1 red or blue Frieza card in your hand with energy cost of 5 and play on top of this card. I think it's strictly, so there's 2 options. You can either do the new one that we just showed, or we can also do the the Final Showdown Frieza as well. So this card is also just fantastic and can probably be put in any of these. But yeah, when your opponent, if this is what, double strike and crit, when it has crit already, so the leader does nothing to it. But when your opponent declares to play a battle card, activates a skill that puts battle cards into play. If your leader card is a red Frieza army card, you may choose 1 card from your life, place in your drop area. If you do, the battle card is played with its skills negated for the duration of the turn. This skill can be activated at counter timing. So this can be good just to have out, and then if they try to do some counterplay stuff on your turn, this is good, or a rival. It only works for the first effect, and since it's an auto once per turn kind of thing, so it's only the first card they try to play, but still it can be pretty good. And it's double strike crit, which isn't anything to I don't think there are a lot of cards that have crit and either double strike or triple strike, so this is pretty unique in itself. But yeah, so you can go into this Frieza into that one, or the new one we have as well, and that's really it. All right. There we go. I thought there was one more card, but yeah. So so far I don't know, I don't super like this leader. It's a little bit more you're gonna be running red Frieza cards with this deck anyways, so there's a bunch of red. If we just look up Frieza Clan, Boom. So there's just a bunch of, and if we just use red in general, so we have like pretty much all these cards. Also this Frieza, mutable menace. So this is another card that we can go with the 1-drop swap. So for red, play this card and its owner's drop, choose up to 1 red or blue Frieza card with a cost of 3 in your hand and play it. And then for blue, if your opponent has 3 or more energy and you choose 1 red or blue Frieza cost or card with an energy cost of 3 in your battle area, and this card in your drop area, and both your owner's warp, choose up to 1 red Frieza card with an energy cost of 5 in your hand and play it. So this card is pretty nuts too. It's probably like the better way to do the swap engine, because what you can do this for 3 energy outright. You can do this 1-drop into this 2-drop, pay another red energy to play a 3-drop Frieza, so you can play this, and then you can use the 1 blue to go into the 5-drop. So it can go into either this Final Showdown Frieza or the new one, this one. So which is pretty good, and you're pretty much wiping your opponent's board for 3 energy, assuming they don't have any like counterplays going on. But I think that's really good. This friendly rival Frieza, also this coming from the star deck. If your leader card is red, when you combo with this card, use up to 1 red extra card from your deck, place in your drop area, and then shuffle your deck. This is good for so many ways, and this can be good for like Prison Frieza, because you need a bunch of skill or extra cards into your drop area. So that's really good, and just stuff like that. We also have this cooler. So if your leader card is a Frieza clan, when you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, gets minus 15k power for duration of the turn. And then if your leader card is a Frieza clan, at the end of your opponent's turn, your opponent places the top card of their deck into their drop area. So if you're doing, and this is barrier too. So if you it really does look like they're doing some kind of like red blue mill. This is like really helps out this archetype with this 5-drop. So that's some other synergy. It's weird synergy, but it's other synergy as well. And then if this isn't, are these Frieza clans? Weird. All right, I didn't know Frost was Frieza clan. So I guess if you want to do Frost stuff as well, that's also a very viable thing to do. That's really weird. I didn't know he was. What else? And then also, so if you don't know, the Prison Frieza archetype is these 7 drops, and so nothing really here helps you get extra cards into your drop area. There's new extra cards, but other than that, there's nothing really too bad about that. Yeah, because none of them really do that. I don't know, but this card's also a really good card to be put into like the Prison Free. Like there's just like a lot of synergy everywhere, and I think it's gonna be really cool to see how it all goes. So, it really sets up for also red blue to be a Frieza archetype as well as red yellow. Red yellow, of course, has always been kind of like the standard. With Cold Bloodlust is the linchpin for that. We only have 1 now, but I think it's still gonna be pretty good. And maybe some Maniac's going to do tricolor, and maybe it'll work out, but we'll really see there. But yeah, I think these cards are cool. It's giving me a lot of ideas to work with. There's a lot of like weird synergies you can start to see with the cards coming out, and I think it's really cool that it's kind of like bridging the gap between these 2 archetypes, and really you have like 3 pretty good leaders that can support these kind of archetypes, except for Prison Frieza 1. He's super weird, but I think there's a lot of like plans to be really flexible and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Let me know what you think of these cards. What are your favorite ones? Do you think this red Frieza leader is cool? I really wish his backside was a bit better, but he's all right. He's not super flashy. I wish he was a bit flashier, but just the fact that he's a red Frieza, he's a lot more synergy than just being a good leader. He's just he's a good leader just in his traits, not what he does, outright. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.